two picks going into reserve time for Dire are probably going to be something strong and supporty. Chen's still in the pool, Visage still in the pool, ever popular. Actually, they choose to go for the carry first. They want to make sure that they can get that through the ban phase. Don't want to risk it. Apparently, Lifestealer, key to their strategy. We're going to see what they build around this very, very strong melee strength hero. Shred Armor loves to get paired with heroes that can do that incidentally. One of the good reasons Naga Siren is a fantastic support is because the Riptide that Radiant banned out also shreds armor, and her net makes her a good counter to Lifestealer, which means that since the Radiant banned out Naga, since her net penetrates BKB and can hold Lifestealer down through his magic immunity, Dire took that as a great opportunity to pick him up, seeing as one of his most prevalent counters. Not actually here. Bane is still in the pool, though. Bane also a fantastic counter to Lifestealer, at least incidentally. Razor being picked up by Radiant. They are very aware of what they're doing. Razor actually lanes fantastically with Nyx. Neither of them interact with each other's lanes. Darkseer and Lifestealer. I don't really see a combo there, but I predicted Jakiro being picked up by the Dire team to follow up with the Darkseer. The Visage actually being banned out by Radiant leads me to believe they might have an idea of what it has in store. Rubik actually being banned out. Rubik, not a very common ban. Actually, his AoE magic resist tends to help stop wombo combo teams, and since Dire has gone with the Darkseer, they might actually be going for some magic damage here following up soon, maybe a Queen of Pain or something. And especially since they banned that Outworld Destroyer, they might really be going for that Queen of Pain, because that Outworld Destroyer is very, very strong against int heroes, especially squishy ones, and that is something Queen of Pain is on both counts. Jakiro being banned out by Radiant, apparently they saw the Darkseer ploy coming. I'm not sure who else you can pick up. A Disruptor is very, very strong with Darkseer as well. You can vacuum everyone into the combo, even if it doesn't actually get placed perfectly. Queen of Pain being banned out by the same people I actually thought might be going for the Queen of Pain. This is actually a very interesting draft. Both teams apparently know some of the players on the other team and have some idea of who these people specialize in. Taking out target bans, trying to make sure these people can't swing with their signature heroes. We actually get an Alchemist. Absolutely going to be going for a Shadow Blade, because an Alchemist, after your primary carry pickup, is going to be more of an initiator, kind of a ganking hero after he gets past that initial weak phase of the game. Grievel's Greed allows Alchemist to catapult back into the game really quickly if he's left alone for 10-15 minutes to farm. Just amazing, that resilience on his ability to farm ridiculously and not be terribly harmed by a strong enemy early game.
5 seconds remaining.
His lane or such makes him very, very valued by a lot of skilled players. Razor, I never explained quite how Razor counters Lifestealer. It's that static link. His second skill actually goes through magic immunity, can both be latched onto and stay on through the activation of magic immunity. In fact, even if Lifestealer infests into someone else and pops out, it still does not break static link off of him. Static link, of course, just draining damage, transferring it to Razor, removing it from the carry or whatever hero it happens to be attached to. The fact that it cannot be peeled off means that Razor is a fantastic choice to weaken Lifestealer in the mid and late game, as long as Razor gets enough farm to not be blown up by Lifestealer instantly come 35-45 minutes. About that window is usually when Lifestealers start getting their tertiary carry items and can no longer be stopped by traditional, stun stacking or any kind of kiting. He will get you, and he gets, say, an Abyssal. Shadow Demon, a very aggressive support. I actually saw him slightly fall out of favor recently. Radiant goes for him with Nyx Assassin, which is actually pretty devastating. Nyx will almost certainly be getting a little more farm priority this game, I think. Maybe mistaken, but I believe that Nyx will probably be getting a Dagon because of the Shadow Demon pick. I think they synergize amazingly. Venomancer, a really, really aggressive support. The best level 1 killer in the game picked up by Dire. Now him with Darkseer is something I haven't actually seen before. I have not seen anyone try to combine these two heroes together. Darkseer and Alchemist, obviously pretty much Darkseer and anyone is a combo these days, but Timbersaw being picked up by the Radiant as well. Alchemist's stun has a small area of effect impact, and it does physical damage, so Darkseer's Vacuum can cause a whole team stun from a single Alchemist toss for 4 seconds. An Alchemist's Acid Spray also reduces armor, which increases Lifestealer's damage. So we're seeing some good synergistic picks up. Pretty much every hero except Venomancer interacts with every single hero on the Dire's draft very positively. Radiant, pretty much the only unifying theme there is that they have good strength hero counters and a lot of burst damage with aggressive supports. Timbersaw not a support, but of course does pure damage, which ignores armor, and does very, very well against people who suffer greatly from stat reduction. And if your primary stat is strength, then the stat reduction of Timbersaw's Whirling Death actually reduces your health as well, which is absolutely agonizing. It doesn't. His pure damage doesn't go through magic immunity. So Radiant already has way too many supports for another one to be drafted. They've got all the supports they need. So I don't know. They're either going to go for an Initiator or a harder carry than Timbersaw. But I think they're going to allocate all their farm to the Timbersaw and the Razor, which really leaves me in the air about who they're going to pick up as their last pick. A lot of teams actually take the drafting practice of picking around something before they actually. We actually got a Shadow Fiend banned. Dire team was predicting maybe Radiant would go for a Shadow Fiend as their carry, thinking that they
10 seconds remaining.
Carry just as I was considering, but I think the Shadow Fiend might have a clever pickup for either team. The Bane. Both teams kind of banning for the other side. Bane would have been fantastic against Lifestealer, but like I said, Radiant has plenty of supports. I suppose they just don't want to see the Bane used against their Razor. Razor traditionally getting BKB after a couple of items as well, so he can't be, burst down and stopped from draining that damage. He's pretty much where they're going to put all their eggs. He's the basket that Radiant is kind of betting on. It's either Razor or Timbersaw in this dual carry meta we're in right now. Alchemist and the Lifestealer actually have some synergy with each other, but I can't name a whole lot of ways that Timbersaw and Razor actually positively interact with each other. There is Treant Protector in the pool, and Treant Protector I think would be decent for Dire. I don't think it would fit Radiant at all. I actually don't think either team is going to go for it. There's still pretty much like every actual classic initiator is in the pool. We have never seen an Earthshaker picked in like the last 2 months, I believe, or so. But Magnus still gets picked situationally. Tidehunter still gets picked situationally. There are still all these heroes. I don't believe Dire will be going for it because of the Darkseer Alchemist and their very aggressive lane combination. Darkseer will probably be soloing the hard lane. I imagine Alchemist will actually be safe lane. You actually get Warlock, which is oh god, why didn't I see this coming? This is a really, really devastating strategy that I've actually been toting around for a little bit now, trying to convince my friends that it's powerful. It's about time I started seeing other people pick this up. It's wow. Anti-mages there really did want that extra carry punch. But about last pick Warlock. They picked Venom. But that's because the Venomancer was specifically picked as a lead-in to Warlock. Radiant did not actually figure out what Warlock, that Warlock was coming. Dire actually snuck that one past them. They could have picked the Warlock first, and I don't think anyone would have banned the Veno, because Veno is way less popular than Warlock is now. I actually see some people first ban Warlock. But basically, Fatal Bonds plus Poison Nova is instant death. It kills everyone. You get Venomancer's ult, which cannot do lethal damage, but does a massive amount of non-lethal damage to compensate, plus Warlock's damage sharing with the offensive spell Fatal Bonds, and 20% of all damage every hero takes from Poison Nova on the Venomancer is split between all other people. So basically, if you land a 5-man Fatal Bonds and Venomancer hits his ult on those 5 heroes, they're done. They're dead. They're really, really dead. Like, I can't tell you how dead they are. It does an outrageous amount of damage over a very, very long period of time. So, shout out to 433 for being a cool bro. But, yeah, we've got A defensive tri-lane top with the Venomancer, the Lifestealer, and the Alchemist up here. Look like Lifestealer might jungling. We got an offensive tri-lane top with Razor actually throwing a ward down. Get 3 hero Gale is actually going to prevent any aggression by these guys unless they really want to go for it. We actually get the Alchemist stunned, and they're going to follow up with this. We actually get a rich 3-man Impale on the return from the Gale. Oh man. The Knicks will actually barely make it out alive. Both teams actually trading a fantastic play and having to equalize and just back up and regen. We get an immediate D-ward from Radiant as the Dire had thrown a lane ward down to be able to spot this, and wow. That 3-hero Gale was absolutely devastating, and Dire really wanted to go for that. All right, quickly, we've got Sabby on Anti-Mage, Pangle on Shadow Demon, Askia on Razor, I cannot pronounce that, on Nyx Assassin, and Foxer on Timbersaw for the Radiant. On the Dire, we've got Karak on Alchemist, Hebe on Warlock, the Joker on Veno, 433 on Darkseer, and WizBiz on the Lifestealer. Looks like it's going to be an offensive versus a defensive tri-lane. We're going to have Warlock versus Timbersaw mid. The Timbersaw mid's not a big surprise for me. The Warlock mid, I actually love playing him here, but I have not seen very many other people play him here recently, so it's great that people are finally moving him into that lane. I think he's fantastic with an early level 6. He can have a huge impact. Actually get a lot of wards being thrown down. We actually get 2 Dire Sentry wards as they're trying to stop this camp from being blocked. And then I think they incidentally blocked it themselves. Radiant still has their single sentry ward up here, so they haven't committed as much of a resource. They still have at least 1 sentry ward. Let me check. Nyx has got 2 observers. He's actually roaming down. Shadow Demon still got a sentry. And Razor's just sitting on a wand, some branches, and some regen. Looks like Lifestealer's going to be the primary carry. I think he got pooled some regen so that he could get a stout shield and a hatchet and actually get that going. Looks like bottom lane, Darkseer hard lane, like I called, they actually sent the Anti-Mage to solo bottom versus this. It's doable, but unless you're burning, it's very difficult, because he's got to get those denies. See, look at what the Anti-Mage just did. He's got to basically sit back and try explicitly to get denies to stop the Darkseer from getting out of hand. And then he could drain the mana like this, which is fantastic, but he's always in danger, especially if he blinks in aggressively, just like he did. Oh no, the tri-lane, the defensive tri-lane actually claims first blood, and a follow-up kill is claimed by the Dire, and a TP is coming in. Nyx went down. The Alchemist is charging a stun, actually lands his health pot, defensive stun, trying to protect his Lifestealer, and the Shadow Demon makes a bad play moving out in the opposite direction. He might actually get killed. Oh, no, the Razor actually broke his tether. Oh, the Venomous Gale's gonna bring him terrifyingly low. Can Nyx deny him? Will Nyx deny him? Oh, they missed the deny. The stun is going to follow up, and this is going to be another kill. Even though it actually bounces back, it's not going to stun for very long. They might be able to pull this up. The Venomancer is actually going to go down to the Shadow Demon. The Shadow Demon came back after being ignored by the other 2. They actually realized that they needed to be helping and not chasing the Shadow Demon down. Shadow Demon returned and claimed another kill. This is actually a feverish exchange of aggression by both teams up here. There's boots and a... Oh, that is a very fast Razor. He's got boots himself already in 1 point and unstable current. He was actually very easily able to keep a leash on Lifestealer. There's still 84 damage and completely force him out of lane. The defensive and offensive tri-lanes up here are absolutely at each other's throats. This is fantastic. Karak apparently trying to stack these camps so he can use Acid Spray to balance out here. Get himself some golden experience while not hampering the Lifestealer while still being there to help him, but he's sitting on almost no mana. Venomancer is actually going to bring a health pot and a tango in. Timbersaw actually gets some regen. Really scary if he gets 6, but of course it's 3 minutes in. He's level 4 right now. Darkseer is doing pretty good. Let's actually check the stats now that we've been into the game for a little bit. Timbersaw has got 15 last hits. He's by far doing better than the Warlock mid. The Warlock has 2 denies. He's got 15 denies against him. So they're actually doing pretty good. I'd like to say both mids are pretty healthy right now. Both teams' mid-game presence actually looking to be pretty strong. There's so much action up here. A Dire Catapult actually is on this camp up here, just plugging away at it, and that really lured Radiant to come check it, because they want to make sure that this isn't... There's nothing funny going on here. They want to make sure that if there's some kind of bonus farming going on, that they can put a stop to that. Plenty of creeps on the Dire side. Actually, Razor right-clicking Lifestealer pulled them back. If Venomancer wanted to land a Gale here, it would actually be really devastating, but he moves forward as the creep line balances out and pushes down, and Razor immediately retreats, heading back. Darkseer actually now pulling creeps on the Radiant side, trying to stop this Anti-Mage from actually having any lane equilibrium. Anti-Mage actually blinking in aggressively. He's actually really scary. Soul Ring's up on Darkseer, but he cannot actually risk popping it to get his Ion Shell. Ion Shell actually has already reduced Anti-Mage to such low life. Both heroes, bottom lane, playing it very dangerously. I gotta say, they have to have a lot of skill to be playing it this close to hand. Timbersaw getting yet another rune. Doesn't have boots yet, but he does have his bottle. Apparently Warlock has... Nope, he has to be flying something out now. Let's check the Radiant Courier real quick. I actually misclicked. Yeah, we got boots. We got Foxter's boots and a TP scroll for him coming out. I was wondering where that was, because he's got way too many last hits to not have boots yet. He actually wades in. He's got plenty of regen. With all the runes that he's getting, he's going to be here for a long time. Warlock pretty much has almost no chance to stop him at this point. Yeah, that's going to be a disruption and a Soul Catcher into Leash. They're going to follow this up really neatly. There's a 4.5 second charge, and then a nice scale on Nyx. They're still going to pick up the Alchemist. Shadow Fiend gets the last hit, but then Nyx drops to the Lifestealer as Venomancer's going to try retreating as Radiant basically barely survives by the popping of a wand, and then a fantastic body block by the Shadow Fiend actually keeps the Lifestealer from getting anywhere near the Razor. Razor's got a TP scroll, but he needs to leave now. He's got like 8 health. The Shadow Demon, no, why did Shadow Demon have to go down? What a noble sacrifice. Did Razor really cancel his TP? Are you serious? He had to buy another. Did he sell it? Why is he still here? He needs to leave so bad. Dyer's gonna get a return kill here. Oh man, nope, they're not gonna catch this Timber. Timber almost impossible to catch. Alchemist's gonna self-stun himself. Actually desperately looking to toss this, but I don't think he's gonna be able to get it. Nope. If Timbersaw had been paying attention, he might have been able to claim that as a kill, but it's way too risky. There's a Warlock Golem running around here. One bash and he'll die. Actually takes a little bit of the tick damage before it expires. The Razor eventually walking out, apparently, with all the heat going around mid from Timbersaw, actually walking back through and leaving. Whoa, that draw, that was a little delayed. Venomancer actually on Dire now roaming up to put a ward there. We actually get Timbersaw. He's gonna bet his life on a rune and no ward and no enemy hero camping it for him. He actually stops by, gets the illusion rune very luckily, starts chugging that so he can stay in lane and get more experience and more gold. Arcane Boots now up on Warlock. Warlock of course did not leave the lane at all. He was slightly behind on mid, and then he took that as an opportunity when Timbersaw left to go gank to catch back up and get what he needed. He popped his golem and I believe sent it up there explicitly for the purpose of helping. Anti-Mage actually blowing his ult, a little harassment on Darkseer, hoping it would do more damage than it did, probably. Just wanted to make use of that cooldown. He had to spend his level 6 somehow. Chose not to put it on a Spell Shield to block a little bit of Ion Shell damage, but instead wanted to push that to low. Maybe he expects a gank in the coming minutes here. Everyone on Dire appears to be healthy. We've got an Infest up for Lifestealer, so he's virtually at full life. He's sitting on Phase Boots and Orb of Venom, and Radiant is actually going to be aggressive. They're going to walk the Venomancer out of lane. Razor being really aggressive here, actually. A nice stun from Alchemist, plus the Lifestealer is going to bring down the Shadow Demon, as Razor was being much too aggressive trying to walk the Lifestealer out of lane, or walk the Venomancer out of lane. Lifestealer actually gets brought down, and now it is a 2-on-2, but wow, the battle is well in hand for Dire. They're actually trying. Alchemist, no, you're staying way too long. Venomancer is actually going to try to save him, but it's not going to be enough. Throwing down a... Oh no, that's a wipe for the defensive tri-lane. Alchemist, Lifestealer, and Venomancer all just died to the enemy tri-lane, and I'm pretty sure 2 out of the 3 were there for about 90% of the fight. Shadow Demon died and TP'd back in, so we saw some of the last kill. But the other 2 now have to walk back. They don't have anything. These people are not hesitating at all to be aggressive against each other. They absolutely know what these heroes are capable of, and they're pushing it to the limit every minute. We are 8 minutes into this game, and we have seen 13 kills go between these two teams so far, and not a single one, I believe. Bottom, nothing on Anti-Mage, nothing on Darkseer. Warlock has 1 kill, and Timbersaw has 1 death. All of the 13 kills have been top lane. Timbersaw now having level 6 has actually got boots, 600 gold, and bottle. He's going to be going for Arcane Boots, obviously, and then hopefully with his still, you know, average mana pool, he's going to be doing something. Warlock actually roaming top. He has his ultimate. Infernal or Chaotic Offering, spawning the Infernal Golem is going to be very, very tough to beat in a fight if the defensive tri-lane up here, the Razor and the Shadow Demon, actually don't spot this out. There's lots of pings coming out, and actually Darkseer claims a solo kill on the Anti-Mage, then dies to the tower for his trouble. Pretty funny. It looks like these two are almost perfectly evenly matched. Nyx actually has his Vendetta. He wants to go in. We've got Radiant Heroes positioning here. Dire Heroes, lots of pings. Actually, Radiant is going to pour down the river. They really... Actually, there's going to be a stun. There's a Vendetta into the stun and the follow-up from Razor. I don't know what this Warlock was thinking, but he just drops his Golem to try to cover up and give himself some presence after he's dead. He's actually going to get Demonic Purge to control it, and they're probably going to try to farm it. But in the meantime, Timbersaw actually came up top to try to get a gank. And he's going to be initiated on. Lifesteal actually getting soul catched. Razor retreating from the Golem, which is still out here, still causing havoc. Warlock just now respawning. Oh wow, he lived? Not for long, but that disruption was fantastic for a brief second. They actually might be able to pick off Lifestealer off of this. A little bit more damage, a little bit, one more right click. Oh no, he's 15 mana short. Nyx was 15 mana short of the Impale that would have finished the Lifestealer. Shadow Demon, no! Timbersaw's here to save the day. Big stun, trying to keep the Shadow Demon out as the Alchemist has to retreat again. Lifestealer comes back and actually picks up the Nyx Assassin, gets sold out again. All these really early aggressive supports are paying off for both teams. Timbersaw actually claims, no, Shadow Demon got credit for Lifestealers. That's the bonus damage from Soul Catcher actually picking up the credit there. Very nice. Razor actually just destroying the Venomancer. Venomancer not having a sufficient escape mechanism from a phase boost, unstable current Razor actually just tethers him and walks him to his death. Not even boots on this Venomancer yet. No mana on the Darkseer, but he still has a Soul Ring. He's actually frighteningly close to his mech. He's like 300 gold from his mech, despite all of the fighting and struggling that's been going on bottom. Darkseer's going to have his mech going into 12 and a half, 13 minutes. Assuming nothing goes horribly wrong for him, which it very well might, as we just got a TP in here, and Shadow Demon is looking to claim a kill on the Sky before it's too late. He's probably immediately going to drop. No, he did not go for the Purge first, he went for the Disruption, landed the Soul Catcher. That's going to be an easy kill. He lands the Demonic Purge, and that is a Darkseer. Credit goes to Anti-Mage, which is very, very nice for Radiant. They really needed that. He actually just picked up his Claymore and a Ring of Health. He is working towards that Battle Fury. He's probably going to see about a 17-minute Battle Fury at this rate. TP's back in top as we get a Vendetta Nyx Assassin walking in. Razor actually dies to the combination of the negative armor from the 3 points and Acid Spray. The stun followed with the Vendetta damage is way too much for the low Alchemist to handle. And a quick Infest is actually going to restore a lot of life to the Lifestealer. God, unfortunately, it's just not enough. Timbersaw will be lucky to escape with his life. He actually walks back in because he wants to kill more than he wants to live. He didn't think he could get out from the slow. Venomancer getting a double kill is actually going to be really great for him. He didn't have boots a second ago. Now he's got boots and 600 gold. That's fantastic for him. He really needed that. There's an extra bracer up on the Lifestealer. That's pretty much all the gear change we've seen from him in the last 3-4 minutes. Shadow Demon's actually got Arcane Boots, a couple wards. He's roaming around. Razor actually decided he wanted to man-fight this Lifestealer. Lifestealer tried to man-fight him back, but realized he had no damage. Far too late. Negative 196 damage. It's like, what are you gonna do? You can't kill anyone when you're negative 200 damage 13 minutes into the game. This is why you max Unstable Current first. Or Static Link, my bad. So very, very good play from the Razor on Radiant side. Shadow Demon, of course, putting a new ward down. Warlock is up here with his Golem again. Lifestealer, I think, is going to be looking for a fight. Maybe try to play a little forward. Maybe make a wrong play intentionally to bait them into going on him. Actually stayed there blatantly, hoping the Shadow Demon would disrupt him. Warlock kind of rotated around. He's actually going to choose to not take this fight because there's a lot of action happening bottom. Timbersaw actually falls as the Darkseer wall goes down. And that stun almost landed, but Darkseer's just too fast. Oh, he canceled the Mana Void! Hit him with the second try, almost killed the Anti-Mage. Vacuum interrupting the cast time of the Anti-Mage. Actually, very nice earn on Nyx Assassin. Got 2 charges out of that Darkseer death. And wow, it's just endless action all over the map. This is hard to keep up with. Demonic Purge is recently used. It's down. They pop drum charges. They want to go for this. Actually, they believe that they can get the Shadow Demon. They've got Venomancer's ult. If they really want to go for this, he's immediately going to turn and throw an attack down on Razor. Razor does a ridiculous amount of damage. Lifestealer's going to be able to pick him up, but that's just a 1-for-1 trade. Oh no, it could be more if he's got this slow. He actually did. He used the slow. That's going to be an easy kill on Shadow Demon. No! The disruption into the Timber Saw from on top actually pinned him in with the illusions. He can't move. He was literally stuck by his own illusions. What a sick twist of fate and a lucky or skilled play by Shadow Demon. That is not for me to decide. That was way more than I was expecting. That was fantastic. Alchemist actually taking the support role very seriously, sitting on brown boots, got sentry wards and a wand. He's got enough levels. He's level 8, which is, you know, it's not amazing, but it's good. It's pretty good for a support that's been in a lane where everyone's dying like all the time. He's managed to pick up a pretty good amount of experience. Warlock actually drops his ult to take down bottom tower, and Nyx claims a fantastic deny on it before walking away and vendettaing. I don't believe Warlock wants to stay here and find out if Nyx actually doubled back or was just using it as an escape mechanism. Pauses outside of his tower briefly. We get a defensive TP from Dire as Lifestealer comes back up to farm and control this top lane. They don't want to lose this tower. More wards going down from both teams. Not a single point in Plague Ward by the Venomancer, but carrying Sentry Wards. This is actually maybe not the best choice. Plague Ward can actually let you get Vision and D-Ward wards without actually having to sit there and do it. Nice Gale. Oh, the disruption came a split second too slow, but the Venomancer can't stay in here because he got soul caught. He's actually taking a ridiculous amount of damage. He panics, throws his ult down the last second before he dies, and Timbersaw goes head in after getting hit with the Venomancer ulti. A lot of damage. The Alchemist picks up a second kill. It's going to be another one. Oh, the Warlock barely jukes the Timbersaw ultimate, the vacuum from Darkseer. Darkseer, actually, if he can get his surge up, it's down for 5 seconds. He really wants to get this Timber, but the Timber's hasted. He can't catch the Timber. Timber has no mana, no health. They really want to get him, but I'm pretty sure Radiant doesn't... Oh! Radiant doesn't have many options left at their disposal. There's too many Dire heroes here. Alchemist has enough mana for a stun, tosses it just to let Lifestealer get close enough. Lifestealer's still sitting at negative 140 damage, but leaning in anyway. You still get that feast bonus, I guess. They managed to bring him down. And the game's slightly tipping in Dire's favor right there. Let's actually check the golden XP graphs now that we're about 20 minutes into the game. See how things are looking. We should have a mech on Darkseer by now. We do. We absolutely do, and he's already working on his hood, or at least pipe. Alright, so the XP graph, it's about 2,000. It's been back and forth, really hectic. We've got about 2,000 in favor of the Dire, and gold is almost dead even. So right now what we're seeing is Radiant being slightly behind in experience, but being equal on gold. Now, the only deciding factor when both teams are equal on gold is where you allocated that gold. We actually get a Warlock ult mid, and Warlock with Arcane Boots, Oblivion Staff. He's actually working on Refresher first. They could have killed him! Oh no, they knew they had him already. They actually left him and let him get killed by the remaining damage from the Shadow Demon, but his Golem picks up a double kill on the offhand. Now we got 3, I wanted to say 4 Dire heroes mid, but that's just a goal, and it's not actually Warlock. They're going to take this tower almost uncontested. Timbersaw can't do anything to stop them. He's going to throw some damage out if he can, but it's not actually going to be enough to bring anyone down. Razor getting acid sprayed. Nothing really important happening top. There was some damage drain on the Alchemist, but he actually just picked up his medallion. He's just looking to amp that Lifestealer's damage up. A very elegantly drafted team by Dire. They've got tons of synergy between the Warlock and the Venomancer and the Alchemist and the... Oh man, a fantastic stun. That was a really long stun. That was like a 3.5 second stun that vacuumed into walls. Way more than enough to bring the Razor down, but will he live? No, he actually gets brought down. Alchemist is on the offside. He actually sees him. Oh man, Alchemist is pretty much guaranteed to die. Boom! As soon as that Demonic Purge goes up, which it just did. Timbersaw desperately trying to live. He's got to pop his wand. He has no mana left. He tries to chuck his bottle. He actually Timber chains out from the back half. Lifestealer can't chase. There's still more action. The mechanisms has been popped by Dire. They are between towers. They're actually just trying to fight Radiant off so they can make sure they get what they want, which is that tier 1 top. They're pinging it. They really want to go in, but they wanted to wait for creep so they wouldn't have to tank it and get busted. Lifestealer having plenty of mana. Actually, he's going for Sanj and Yasha after drums. He's going for the YYF race car build, as it's been so humbly named by fans of the scene since it was implemented. Now, this Battle Fury, up at 19 minutes at least on this anti-mage, forgive me, it's actually going to allow him to claim a lot more farm. He takes this tower too as well, I believe. He actually did last hit that tower. So a couple smokes being bought up by Alchemist. Apparently they want to do something about this anti-mage soon. They're going to need smokes to get point blank on him. He's got 3 points in blink, and he's going to be looking, he doesn't even bother going for the DD. He just wants to keep farming the actual spots. That means Warlock is going to pick up this DD right after anti-mage blinks away. They could have seen each other, but that is some knowledge not granted to the Radiant team there. Dire has a ward there, and another rune spawns, but it doesn't look like anyone's going to go for it. Actually, Nyx is going to go for it. He spots it. He did not know it was there, but he does spot it. He's going to go mid. He really wants to be a part of this action. Dire's actually going in really heavy. Timbersaw got defensively disrupted by Shadow Demon. Then Shadow Demon threw the Purge down on Alchemist. This Shadow Demon is doing a fantastic job of containing the raucous Dire team, who is just going all over the map, hunting for kills. Nyx Assassin, thank God they don't have detection. They would have instantly slain him. He's still not being detected, but he is roaming. This is not Vendetta, this is normal Invis. He still has his Vendetta. He could throw a stun and then Vendetta again. Double stealth being very, very useful. And everyone, almost everyone, 3 Radiant heroes and 5 Dire heroes are collecting around the mid tower. Tier 2. Actually, Timbersaw goes up to try to push these guys off with his ult, and he gets slowed by Lifestealer. She's getting a lot of stuns back and forth, a lot of slows. These guys are trading spells. They just want to push each other off of this stuff. Dire claiming inch by inch every square ground of Radiant territory they can muster. They're really trying to force these towers down early. They do not want to let this anti-mage be relevant. Anti-mage, of course, split pushing bottom now. His team actually pings him. The Shadow Demon wants him to come back and participate in this fight. Venomancer's ult is dropped. Warlock's ult is dropped. Amazingly, it's still a 1 loss on each side. Timbersaw goes down. Oh man, Warlock's gonna know. Warlock actually gets picked up by the anti-mage. He actually came back, and that is a 3-3. Now with the Lifestealer and the anti-mage trading blows, to stun from Alchemist is gonna be the deciding factor. He has to blink out. Medallion was popping him as well, and he was taking way too much damage. The Lifestealer actually gets picked up anyway. An increased bounty of 344 gold going anti-mage's way as he last hit that Lifestealer. He stayed a little too long. What is this anti-mage thinking? Oh, he had to blink out. I'm not sure what he's thinking, but that stun, he's lucky that stun on Alchemist's side wasn't slightly more damaging. Both of these players playing the Razor's Edge. Neither of them have any life left. Alchemist actually going to TP out now. He's going to make it in time. He's out. He's safe. And anti-mage claims the deny on the tower for all of his hard work. That is 5 kills on him now. In that last team fight, he claimed about 3,000 gold. Well, that's his total now. Of course, he had a significant amount of that from farming right before the fight, from pushing this tower here, actually doing as much as he could to bring that down without having to be called back to the fight. But his team needed him. The 5-man Dota Dire was mustering was a little too much for Radiant to offset, even with their great picks. Without their anti-mage, they needed that 5th pick, even as far ahead as he was. He had to go buy TP and come back, and now we're seeing a little bit more peace return to the map as the bloodlust has finally been sated by these two teams. It looks like with all the negative armor Alchemist can bring to the table, and the mechanism that Darkseer's got and the heal that Warlock's got, they might actually be going for Roshan. I think Radiant smells something fishy too, because Shadow Demon's kind of lurking around here. Actually throws a ward down. Unless that smoke Alchemist has got is used, they are going to be able to spot any Roshan attempt. And of course Alchemist bought 2, so I gotta assume at least one of those was intended for this. Oh man, Ion Shell plus Fatal Bonds just destroyed that creep wave in like 2 seconds. They push that mid lane out, and then they actually go back here. They're going to be spotted by this Radiant ward, almost guaranteed. I mean, it is nighttime. There's no way. They know about this, right? Pink just pinged, but that's Alchemist. There's more pings. Green actually just pinged. That's the Darkseer. They're really worried about this. They keep popping in and out. They throw a sentry ward down so they don't get surprised. Radiant can't contest this. They're nowhere nearby. And that is an Aegis for Lifestealer, elegantly done by the Dire team. Actually pushed the lanes out properly as they should. Lifestealer taking an infest trip to top lane. Darkseer being the carrier here, he's actually going to surge into lane. They're going to see Timber Saw, and immediately Lifestealer pops out, tries to... Oh no! Timber Saw missed his Timber Chain. Oh man. Anti-Mage actually blinked in, Desperation ulted to try to balance the scales, and unfortunately he ate a really large Alchemist stun and a lot of negative armor. Was basically just fed to the Lifestealer. Lifestealer going for a basher now. He's got Sanjanyasi, he's got drums, he's got phase boots. It's a lot of move speed. He's actually cruising around at 492 without activating his phase. We'll see. Oh no, that was with his phase. 432 without phase. And Alchemist actually picks up a Vlad just to be even more supportive. I'd like to take a look at items here.
Top tower is under attack.
See what everyone was sitting at. They're actually going to pressure this tier 2 top, and there's no one here to defend it but Shadow Demon. There's too many other heroes off farming other places that don't have ready mobility to move there. They're actually going to let this tower go. That is more gold on the table, and we've been about 10 minutes since I last checked the golden XP. Let's see how it's going now. It's 4,000 XP in favor of the Dire, and 4,000 gold in favor of the Dire. That allocation of gold that I briefly talked about mid before more action went down is actually what I believe is the deciding factor here. A lot of Radiant's gold was accounted for on the solo farm of Anti-Mage, who still got a par timing on his Battle Fury. Par timing is, I see 15 minutes in pro games you can get a Battle Fury. If your lane is good, if you're a good player, if you get that farm that you need. Now 20 minutes is still par. Post 20 minutes, that's late. 20 minutes, people still expect you to get like a Radiance, and Radiance is significantly harder to farm than a Battle Fury. Of course, both of those items are farm accelerants. Cleave on Battle Fury and the AoE damage on Radiance's burn both increase the rate at which you are able to accrue gold in this game. So not getting those as soon as possible is a big loss to your team. Now about the placement of that gold, Radiant didn't actually have a lot of resources on very many of their other heroes. They were relying on levels and the inherent power of their heroes. Now we're actually going to see a big smoke gang from Dire. 3 heroes coming in. Lifestealer and Anti-Mage are trading blows. Actually, a Sanj proc plus the open wounds is going to make it almost impossible for Anti-Mage to walk away, even post-blink. So he's got nothing. He dies solo to Lifestealer, and that's a very, very bad story for Radiant, because like I said, they had a lot of their gold on this Anti-Mage. Without him, they don't actually have a lot of their resources. Alchemist looking for something, anything to stun, doesn't find anything, but it's fine because there's 4 Dire heroes here, and Radiant actually completely aware of this because the Razor barely escaped with his life. He has Shadowblade, of course. I don't think there is any detection on any of the heroes here. All the Sentry Wards from earlier in the game have not been used up. Warlock had a Sentry Ward. 5 Dire heroes bottom. They're actually not even going to worry about defending their top tower, which is actually pushed to the tower. Anti-Mage is still dead for 31 seconds. They're like, we can't get split push. They don't have anyone that can do that. Everyone they want to bring to a team fight can't just like blink around the map. So we're going to take the tower while AM is down. They move in bottom to this tier 2, and they're actually going to lean into it really heavy. We don't see an Assault Cuirass on anyone yet, but Shadowblade is actually going up next for Alchemist. Alchemist is going to throw in a very aggressive acid spray to space these guys off and hopefully discourage them from going. And Timber Saw, never able to be discouraged, always throws his ult in there, mix things up. They take this tower with little to no hassle. Anti-Mage respawns. And now, of course, even without the opportunity to split push, he's probably going to want to go somewhere else. But Dire does not want to give him the chance. They've actually all grouped up here bottom. They're pushing the crap out of this bottom tier 3. We get the Golems drop, we get the Alchemist stun, we get the Refresher, and there's another round of Golems. There's absolutely nothing Radiant can do to stop this. Vendetta is used just to escort him out. Anti-Mage jumps in and claims a kill on the Warlock. If the Warlock's already given everything he's got, those Golems are still piped, and they claim yet another kill on the Razor. There's a pretty hefty stun on the Anti-Mage. He will not be able to blink away. That's an almost complete team wipe. All you've got is Nyx Assassin left. This Rax is a sure thing. This Rax is completely gone. Radiant has to come to grips with that. There's nothing they can do. Anti-Mage actually buys back. They fortified. They do not want to give this up. They do not have what it takes. There's still a quarter timer left on these Golems, and the Golems aren't even trying a team fight. Oh no. Lifestealer gets yet another kill. The Nyx Assassin got picked up as the Anti-Mage blinked in and tried to back this up. He does not have the strength to stop these golems. The golems, of course, now timed out, but their work is done. These racks are gone. Anti-Mage would love to get a solo kill, but now all of the Dire team is so rich. Darkseer has a blink, a mech, and a pipe. Now, the best thing about Dire's lineup is that they actually got a pretty even distribution of their wealth. They put a mech on Darkseer at 13 minutes, and he was not their most farmed hero. That was Lifestealer at the time. Lifestealer actually going in again. We're going to get a Shadow Blade and a mech from Radiant as they desperately try to save Razor's life. Oh man, Anti-Mage goes down anyway. There's just way too much here. We get the Aegis popped. PG is called by Radiant. The Anti-Mage cannot buy back and is down for 60 seconds, decides that this is actually the end of the game, and concedes. Fantastically played by both teams, lots and lots of aggression. Very, very fun to watch. Good draft, good play.